Hi guys. Okay. I am going to do my Twin Tuesday. I know it's Thursday. It's been a week. It's just been a last couple weeks. So I'm gonna get into changing Maci. I know you've already seen the outfit, probably on Krystle's channel, because she changed Maizie into it, on Tuesday. The plan was to get this done Monday night, but it just didn't happen. Things are still kind of crazy around here. And then on top of it, I just was not feeling good. I know I made the post so people didn't freak out. It's not COVID related. For 2 to 3 weeks, I just haven't been feeling that great. Lots of COVID-like symptoms, but it's not COVID. It all started out, it seems really strange. We were at my son's football game and I accidentally sprayed some sunscreen in my ear. And the next morning I woke up and my ear really hurt. Didn't think too much about it. Okay, I'm just going to leave her shoes on because I love these. Didn't think too much of it and went on with my life. Monday rolls around, still ear pain. You know, I have lots of ear pain, so I'm used to it at this point. Don't think much of it. Tuesday, we hit Tuesday, and I wasn't feeling well, not related to the ear pain. I was having a lot of back pain, and I wasn't feeling the best between the earache, the back pain, I was having like bloating and gas pain and stuff like that. I was a mess all over that night. I tried to go to bed. I did go to bed early. I told my husband, I'm like, I really need to go to bed. So he put the kids to bed. And I went to bed at like 8. Well, at 3 in the morning, I woke up and the pain was just beyond anything in my back. So I decided to get up and take a shower to see if that would kind of relieve, like a hot shower would relieve the pain. So I take a hot shower, and while it did work in the shower, once I got out of the shower, I still had a little bit of pain, but not too bad. But my ears were still hurting. Or my ear was still hurting. So anytime I take a shower, I know it's bad. I use Q-tips. I clean my ears out. It's a bad habit, as well as it's a bad habit. So I go to clean my ears out, and there's like a little bit of blood on the Q-tip from the ear that I had the pain in. And I'm like, what the heck? So I put the Q-tip in again. I'm like, you know, am I really seeing this? Am I imagining this? Oh, I really need to get some bows for her. So put it in again. Yes, there was a little more blood on the Q-tip, not as much as the first time, but there still was some on there. So I'm still thinking, what the heck? And all of a sudden, it hits me like a ton of bricks, like I am going to pass out of nowhere. So I start feeling like I do just before I pass out, when the few times that it's happened. I instantly run into my bedroom. No, not run. I go into my bedroom. Well, I turn to go into my bedroom, and just as I turn, all of a sudden, like, the whole room starts spinning. So I'm like, I need to sit down ASAP. So I was just a few steps from the bathroom into my bedroom, and we have a recliner in our bedroom, so I sat down on it. And as I sat down on it, I went completely deaf in my left ear, which is the one that was hurting. Now, anytime I pass out, I go completely deaf, period. Doesn't both ears go deaf? So I could hear out of my right ear. While it was muffled, I could still hear. My left ear, I could hear absolutely nothing out of it. And I got very nauseous. I have not been this nauseous in quite a while. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, am I going to pass out? Am I going to throw up? I don't know what's going on. And I'm trying to wake my husband up. And he wakes up, he rolls over, and he's like, what's wrong with you? Because now I am hyperventilating on top of all this. And I told him, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to pass out. I don't know if I'm going to throw. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I need to go to the emergency room. And he's just like, well, what am I going to do to help you? And then he rolls over and went back to sleep, like such a man thing. So I sit there and I start kind of dozing off. And in amongst the dozing off, everything, I still had the back pain. And my ear still hurt, but my head started feeling a little bit better. I wasn't dizzy, I didn't feel nauseous, and I didn't feel like I was going to pass out. And I got hearing back in both of my ears. And my husband's like, you really need to do something about this. You need to get into the doctor. So I quickly looked on the app, and my doctor was booked up until January. So I'm like, this isn't going to work. And I hate going to our walk-in here. There's one doctor that I seem to always get, and he doesn't seem to take things seriously. It's the doctor, if you remember a few years back, that I went in feeling really, really bad, had a high fever and whatnot, and he refused to do any tests besides a strep test. Like, he didn't even do a flu test. And I wound up back there the next night, and I had pneumonia that he completely missed. I always seem to wind up with this doctor. And I'm like, every time I go in, I feel like I waste my money. Well, our insurance has a teledoc line that the copay is less than half of a copay going into the doctor. And I've used it in the past. I had a sinus infection in August, I believe. And I used it then when it was perfect. The copay was better. Literally, I just fill out some stuff on an app. The doctor calls me, and then you go over a few things, and then they call in a prescription. So I've used it in the past, no problem. So I had my husband, we have an otoscope, and I had my husband look, and he thought that my ear looked a little red. So I'm like, okay. So I call the teledoc, and he's asking me all these questions about an ear infection. And then he gets to, have you felt dizzy? And I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, but I felt dizzy with ear infections before. And then he goes, do you have ringing in your ears? And I'm like, I have had ringing in my ears since I was like 10. I do not remember a time when there wasn't ringing in my ears. And actually, I can't say that because I've had tubes in my ears as an adult. The only time I've not had ringing in my ears is when tubes are in my ears. For some reason or another. So anyways, he's like, well, I'm going to give you these eardrops. If it doesn't clear up, you need to get into your doctor. So I go pick up the eardrops, and I've been using the eardrops, and it almost felt like the eardrops were making things worse. Like I was getting out of balance. I would walk, and I was like tilting my head to the left. When I walk, I'd kind of lean to the left. So it was almost like it was making it worse. So we went to a concert, and I'm going to do a video about that later, on Friday night. And I didn't even realize this. And my husband's like, do you realize that you keep turning your right ear, the way we were sitting, I should have been like turning left. But he goes, you keep turning your head to the right. I didn't realize it at the time till he said it, but I could not hear out of my left, well, I could hear out of my left ear, but it was so muffled, I kept turning my head to the right so I could hear better. It's like, okay, something needs to be done now. So, sometimes, like, if you get on the, for at least my clinic and my doctors, even my kid's doctor, if you go on the, I can't think of what the app's called, no, MyChart app. If you go on the MyChart app at midnight, sometimes the system resets and appointments open up. Either it's somebody had canceled, or sometimes they leave appointments just blank every so often. So then, like, in instances that you need to be seen sooner, if you get up, you can get on. Well, I went to bed Sunday night and I completely forgot about it. My kid's bus comes really early in the morning, so we get up at 6. So I quickly got on the app when my alarm went off, thinking I'm not going to find anything. Well, there was an appointment for Monday at 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay, grab it. I went to my doctor, absolutely love her. She goes, you had ear problems last time I saw you, and she goes, and it was the right ear, correct? And I go, yeah, and she goes, it wasn't an ear infection, it was fluid in your ear. And I go, yeah, that sounds about right. And then, so she looks at my right ear first, and she goes, your right ear looks perfectly fine. And then she looks at my left ear, and she gets really quiet, and I'm thinking, oh, great. She's like, I don't see an ear infection. She goes, well, your eardrum is moving this time. The last time my right eardrum, the pain was caused by my eardrum was stuck because of the fluid. She's like, you have a significant amount of fluid behind your ear. She goes, that's what's causing you to be dizzy. That's what's causing you to be off balance. The reason why everything's muffled is because the water's there. And she goes, and that's what's causing the pain is because of the pressure behind your ear. And she's like, I already have you on Flonase. She goes, I don't know why this keeps happening. And she goes, are you doing your Flonase? And I go, yeah. I go, I'm doing it every morning. And she goes, and you're on the Zyrtec. She goes, I don't know what's causing this. She goes, why don't we do steroids? So she gave me a 5-day dose of steroids too. She goes, whatever inflammation is in your head right now, to be able to get that to drain backward, or drain properly and get all the fluid out of your ear. And she goes, if it doesn't improve or it happens again, she goes, I will be sending you to the ENT to be getting ear tubes put back in. So I honestly have a feeling that that will be happening, because I'm like, I laugh. I was laughing when I said it. I go, sometimes like stuff like this, I feel like a hypochondriac. And she goes, clearly this is not a hypochondriac, and this is not something you can cause yourself. She goes, I have never she goes, I don't know how a person would cause themselves to have that much fluid build up behind their eardrum. So I've been on it for a few days. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I still have like moments of like where I feel really off balance if I move too fast, or if I stand up too fast, or if I sit down too fast. Any fast movements, I still have a lot of kind of a moment of off balance. The pain itself has subsided, but I still have kind of the muffledness. And the best part is I am not turning my head anymore when everybody talks. And I'm not walking with my head cocked to one side. So, I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but that's what's kind of been going on with me for the last couple weeks. I am starting to feel a little bit better. Hopefully this will take care of it. It's like one of those things that I want to start feeling better, and I'm hoping it takes care of it. But on the other hand, if she said to me, let's schedule an ENT appointment, I probably would have said okay. The last set of tubes I had put in, they were actually put in the office. I didn't go to the OR. I wasn't put under. It was the most painful experience in my life. I've had 2 C-sections. Both of them I got infections in the C-section incision, and I've had gastric bypass, and I will still say that the tubes put in my ears was the most painful thing I've ever gone through. But I'll do it again in a heartbeat, because the amount of ear pain that I get and how severe it can get. My last tubes lasted 3 years, and like I said, I didn't have ringing in my ears. I could hear clearly. I felt better. I didn't have ear infections in that time frame. I didn't have fluid buildup in that time frame. So I would hands down do it again if I had to do another in the exam room tube insertion. Literally what the most painful part is literally them putting the numbing medication in your eardrum, because your eardrum is just balls of nerves. So you're literally putting a needle right into a nerve. It numbs it, and then after that it's just the pressure of them pushing the tube through the hole. I'm an adult. I can stay perfectly still for them to do it. I'm not going to scream. My mom was there, and she's like, tears were running down my face because, like I said, it was one of the most painful experiences in my life. I didn't move, and I was able to get it in and walk out with like instant relief of the pressure alone, because I have a lot of head pressure. So that's what might be coming up. So who knows? We'll have to see. But Miss Maci looks so cute in her Care Bear outfit. So she's wearing this Pat Care Bear outfit that Krystle got me, I believe, as a Christmas present. She forgot that she gave it to me already. But it's this purple Care Bear onesie with a little purple tulle skirt. I cannot remember which the purple bear is. It's got two little ears on the shoulders, and it's got kind of like these flare on the sleeves. So it's not sleeveless, but it's got a little flare, and it's purple and white stripe, and it's got the bear's face on her chest, and then it's just a onesie. And I left on those shoes. I absolutely love those shoes that I got her and Sean, matching shoes. I do not regret that purchase. And I did have to laugh because Krystle put some like knee-high or thigh-high socks on Maizie, saying that it was so cold. I live in Texas. We go through all the seasons in a day. We start out with winter, then we have spring around 9 o'clock, then by 2 o'clock we're into summer, and then around 7 o'clock we're into fall. And what I mean by that is when we wake up, the temperature is in the low 50s. By 9 o'clock, we're already up in the 70s. By 2 o'clock, we're in the 80s to 90s. And then by 7 o'clock, we are back down into like 50s, 60s. So I got all the seasons in one day. So she looks super cute in this. And I hope everybody is having a great week. And I will see you all later. Bye.